This is kind of a more advanced mantric question. I don't know if that's the correct grammar. But why are there certain stronger words in Tantric mantras like Sham, 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 Bhatt, Reem? Words that make you feel something.
So these are Beeja mantras. I think last time we talked about, just touched upon it, Beeja mantras. So these mantras, how did they originate? So that's a difficult question, but let's assume that these were heard by rishis or the great masters who were the originators of the path, and each of them have a specific potency and power in them. For example, now after a certain level of sadhana is done, the rule is that you cannot utter the Beeja mantra loud. After a certain level of sadhana is done. Okay. Every other word in the mantra you can utter loud. Beeja you will not utter loud at a certain level. So for example, this Beeja that you specifically asked sometime earlier.
Because you can't say it.
I don't want to say it.
Can I say it?
Yeah.
Reem.
Yeah. So there are two things in this. This is a very powerful, interesting Beeja. This is known in Tantras as the Maya Beeja also. Because this destroys your Maya. And gives you a vision which is beyond Maya if it gets fully activated. Okay. It has this potency. Tremendous potency. And there are certain sadhanas where only this Beeja is doing, people do japa of this, nothing before, nothing after. This is in Tantras, this Beeja is considered to be equivalent to the Omkara of the Vedic path.
But it's also dangerous.
No, none of the Beejas are dangerous. There's nothing called dangerous.
I ask you that because I have a friend who's experimental with mantras. He said that he began doing some Kal Bhairav mantra by listening to it with a earphone. Went into meditation and 15 minutes his head started hurting a lot.
Oh, that could be. So these are anecdotal. I can't comment on this without knowing the individual. Okay. But no, this is not at all harmful. Okay. In fact, one of the potencies of this Beeja is used in multiple mantras. This is also one of the Beeja mantras connected to the Mahavidya known as Bhuvaneshwari. Okay. Devi Bhuvaneshwari. When blessings of this Beeja comes to an individual, because he goes beyond Maya slightly, I'm not saying fully though it takes a lot of time, but a little bit. So there are a lot of positive developments also that will come to him. Okay. Bhuvaneshwari is a deity who can give you, again, there's always a caveat because there are many factors. Who is doing it, whether he or she has the concentration, whether he can take their energy or not correctly. Lot of material growth. Okay. At the same time, it will give you a clarity in vision. Certain amount of clarity in vision of if you are very attached to something, that is what is Maya. Fundamentally, the attachment is Maya, nothing else.
To a person, to a thing,
anything.
To a goal.
वही तो मैं बोला, when your attachment to the phone is also Maya to some degree. We all create our own Mayas. So depending on how much attached you are to whatever it is, that is your Maya. Okay. So, and the degree of attachment you are also open to that degree of pain eventually. Because everything will go at the end one day. Okay. That's the one thing that everybody agrees on, whether you are spiritual or whether you are atheist. You are going to die, I am going to die. Okay. The moment you are dead, it's finished. But that particular Beeja is actually a very positive Beeja. It is considered to be just like Omkara in the Tantric field. And it brings about a lot of, it reduces the, what you call it, it can reduce clarifies your vision. So Maya clouds your vision. Attachment, the problem with attachment is that it clouds your vision. You cannot see properly. A person who is detached will be able to make a clearer judgment. Okay. So it clarifies your vision. It also brings you blessings, that Beeja. Acha. This one is used in a multiple amount of mantras. It's very common Beeja. Okay, very common. Whereas the other Beeja that you mentioned,
I said Bhatt.
That is to end something. That is particularly given in a mantra when you need a specific force to end, means not necessarily end in a negative sense. Sometimes you have to end something that is negative.
Again, attachment.
No, not necessarily. Somewhere you see, it actually depends on the mantra, but more or less.
There was a Kal Bhairav mantra which had Bhatt in it, which I had heard.
It could be. Many mantras have that. Many different deities mantras have that. For example, you see somebody that trying to cause some harm. Okay, when directly you are seeing that somebody is trying to cause some harm. So you may use a mantra with this particular Beeja that will work in a certain way to stop that person from causing harm. So this Beeja is something to stop. Okay, but ठीक है, और इसमें the pronunciation has to be PH, not F.
Bhatt.
Ha, not fan. Because the fa pronunciation is not there in Sanskrit. Pa. Understood? Like this, there are innumerable Vijas. In fact, one who is an expert in Mantra Shastra can create a Vija also. You can create a Vija of a person's name. Now, don't ask me to create a Vija of your name, but I'm just saying. You can create a Vija of a person's name. You can, if you're that good in Mantra Shastra, if you know something's name, technically you can access that thing's energy. Mantra Shastra that we have in our Dharma is perhaps the most advanced.